Welcome to Rslashred, the channel dedicated to everything Reddit. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Our story today is called, My Grandma Tried to Ruin My Brother's Wedding. It was posted by Exenthoros, in r/EntitledParents. My brother's wedding was 2 years ago, but this still pisses me off every time it comes to mind. My grandmother is rather histrionic. If she isn't the center of attention, she will make herself the center of attention. So it was my brother's wedding and I was his best man. I have a tiny car and needed to be at the wedding venue early. My grandma was going to be picked up by my parents later. She wasn't anywhere near ready and I needed to leave, so I assumed all was well at this point. We set everything up at the venue, took photos, and got ready for the ceremony. Finally, my parents arrive, with my grandma in tow. She was already pissed and causing a scene because I had abandoned her when I left for the venue. We managed to calm her down, but I could see my brother was already getting disappointed with the situation. He just wanted everything to go right and he is too nice to say anything to our grandma. Things went okay for a while until we were seating her in the chapel and she wasn't getting to sit with my mom and dad at the very front, where the parents of the bride and groom had the place of honor. Once more she made a big scene until she was moved to the front next to my parents. My brother was red with embarrassment as everyone from both families had pretty much filed into the chapel. Once more, things calmed back down once she had her way. The last straw was at the reception. Everyone was eating and having a good time. I was going around checking on the tables to make sure everything was going well and people were being taken care of. Then I get to my grandma's table. I don't remember exactly what she said, as I kind of lost it at that point, and it was 2+ years ago, but it was something like, "Why is this taking so long? If they aren't going to get the reception moving along, I need you to take me home." I replied with something like, "I still have to give the best man speech. Weren't you going to ask mom and dad to take you back?" Then she said the words she said to me growing up any time I disagreed with her, and it instantly triggers me. "Don't you get smart with me, you little shit." I saw red. I said something to get her to come outside the venue, then I got vicious. I didn't yell because I didn't want to draw attention to the situation, but anyone within line of sight would easily know I was pissed. I told her something along the lines of, "You need to sit down and shut the F up. This is my brother's wedding, and he may still believe you are this amazing person that he wants in his life, but I've seen through to the vile witch you are. You mistreat and abuse my mom, and now you are trying to do the same crap to my brother. Your bullcrap will never fly with me. I know what you are, and if you don't get back in there and pretend that you are having a great time, you will have nothing to do with my life." She got all pissy and said, "How dare you talk to your elders like that?" I handed her the keys to my car and told her she could leave if she absolutely could not stand the reception, but if she did, she would never be invited to be a part of anything in my life, not my wedding, not my graduation, not even to see any grandchildren I may have in the future. "You will be lucky if you see me again before you die." Apparently, she either didn't care or thought I was bluffing because she left. I haven't seen her since. My choice. She complains to my mom that I don't talk to her. I specifically sent her what looked like an invitation that told her that she wasn't invited to my wedding. She also wasn't invited to my graduation. After learning about the racist comments she made about me, Caucasian, and my wife, Asian, and how it was good we hadn't had any children yet because the world doesn't need any more Asian babies, I effing hate her guts. I'd like to say some part of me still loves her, but after everything, I can't stand even the thought of her. If there was any chance I could forgive her for how she tried to ruin my brother's wedding, her racist bullcrap pretty much solidified my determination that she would never meet her grandchildren, and that I'm not even sure I would be willing to visit her on her deathbed. I don't know if I overreacted or if I'm a bad person for responding like this, but I watched for 18 years as she emotionally abused my mom over and over again, and my dad by proxy. She had always doted on me and my brother, but when she acted like that at my brother's wedding, all of that came boiling to the surface, and I tore into her. Edit. A lot of people are asking if my brother has seen the light. The answer is, kind of, but he is a lot nicer and more gullible than me. He writes her crap off as, "It's just how she is, but she's family." My grandma took a great effort when we were growing up to let us know that, blood is thicker than water, and that, your friends will always leave, but your family will always be there. I never bought into it because my friends were always more supportive and reliable than my family. My brother did buy into it. Edit. My car was fine. That thought never crossed my mind as a possibility. My grandma is terrified of car wrecks due to a wreck in her youth that seriously messed her up. Also, I probably assumed that she was aware that I wouldn't hesitate to call the police on her for anything like that. We are at the end of today's story. Let's review some Redditors' comments. Mighty Maka 2920 posted, "Let me guess, you're a fiercely independent person? Correct me if I'm wrong. That's how I recognize the bullcrap. My mom needs constant attention, whether she's lecturing me or trying to spend time with me. I have a life to live that doesn't always revolve around my family. My son and future husband, yeah, but that's different. Xanthoros posted, "You're not wrong, and it is often to my detriment. In this case, it was useful. I think it also may have helped prevent my indoctrination into the Baptist Church, as well as prevented my indoctrination in the military. Thankfully, there has always been someone to let me know it's okay to rely on others a bit, not always the same person, but there was always someone there to rescue me from myself when I try to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders." Mighty Maka 2920 posted, "I knew you hated asking for help too. I was gonna ask you that as well. Yeah, give yourself permission to ask for help. Anyway, same here on the indoctrination part. I'm a Christian, but my family takes it overboard. I won't say they don't suck me into their bull sometimes, but that's only because to have a relationship with them, you literally have to do what they want. It isn't going to matter in a few weeks though. I'm moving out. Should have done it in August when I first planned to leave. My mom threatened to report me to CPS if I even think anything happened to that baby, because I came home at 1 a.m. with my son. Never mind the fact that I was with his father. I moved in with her because my lease was up and I wanted her support through the end of my pregnancy. But, I'll be damned if I let anyone get my child taken from me, especially out of anger and with no proof of neglect or abuse." Belgium Waffle 0123 posted, "How did she even get invited if you knew she was like that?" Xanthoros posted, "Because it was my brother's wedding, and he hadn't seen her for what she is yet." Xanthoros posted, "Under normal circumstances, I'm not subtle by any stretch of the imagination, but it was my brother's day and I love him to death. I didn't want to cause a scene at the reception, so I bit my cheek and tried to be somewhat discreet. It took about all the restraint I had not to scream what I had to say to her." Hoopa Girl 69 posted, "A lot like my family. Those who don't stab people in the back, act like everything is about them. My grandma, for example, has her golden child, GC, and when I was raped by GC and her boyfriend, she decided I was lying. Then we cut contact for about 9 years. I was stupid to think things changed. Now my dad is forcing her and my mom to have me there for, at most, 4 Fridays a month, for a few hours until he can come pick me up. We mostly ignore each other, and her relationship with her whole family is turning to dust due to her attitude, nothing to do with the rape. She doesn't listen to advice and still expects my dad to pay for and do mechanical repairs on her car that he advised her not to get. I'm glad you stood up to her. I only hope I will be able to do the same someday." Jamster 1988 posted, "I feel so sorry for you. Grandmas are supposed to be the most loving people in the world, words of wisdom, great food, etc. It sucks that your grandma is such a nasty person. How are your wife's grandparents?" Xanthoros posted, "My wife only had her grandma by the time we met. She was very accepting of me joining their family. Same for her mom and siblings, they all love me, and I'm more attached to my in-laws than I ever really was with my bio family." You from Origin posted, "OP, I was raised by exactly the same type of woman as your grandmother. I cut ties with her after she acted out at my best friend's wedding. That was 26 years ago. I have not spoken to or interacted with her for over 2 decades, and it was the best decision of my life. The first couple of years I dealt with the doubt and guilt. My easygoing sister begged me to make up with mom. Nope. Toxicity like that is a noxious cloud that aims to poison everyone else around it. Currently, my elderly mother risks being kicked out of her senior home almost daily for making racist, horrible comments. My sister cries and deals with this. I've come to see that my sister isn't so much easygoing, as she is so used to being abused. She cannot get out of it. You've done the right thing. Stay strong in your decision. Others will give you guilt or judgment along the way, but this will pass as they too come to the important realization: being family is not a free pass to abuse others. And being elderly does not equal innocence. Thanks for watching Rslashred. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future videos.